Welcome back to my channel. Today is Best Top 2 Coins, one you want to miss. We're diving into the world of United States coins. Please don't skip this video. Last coin is excited, so let's get started. Top 1, the full history of a 1974 United States Liberty coin with the inscription, "In God We Trust." I'll break down everything you need to know, including what kind of coin this might be, its history and possible value or significance. Identifying the coin. There is no official U.S. coin specifically called a Liberty coin from 1974, but several U.S. coins from that year feature. The word Liberty, the motto, "In God We Trust." The date, 1974. These coins include 1974 Lincoln cent penny, featuring Abraham Lincoln, 1974 Jefferson nickel, featuring Thomas Jefferson, 1974 Roosevelt dime, 1974 Washington quarter, 1974 Kennedy half dollar, 1974 Eisenhower dollar. So, the Liberty coin you're referring to is likely one of these, most commonly the Eisenhower dollar, Kennedy half dollar, or Lincoln cent. If you can send a photo, I can identify it exactly. Common features of 1974 U.S. coins. All U.S. coins bear the word Liberty, a long-standing tradition. The phrase, "In God We Trust," appears on all U.S. coins. Coins from this era were struck in either copper, cents, nickel alloys, or for larger denominations like half and dollar coins, a copper-nickel-clad composition. Historical context, 1974. President, Gerald Ford after Nixon resigned. Era, Cold War. Vietnam War just ended, Watergate scandal. Economy, U.S. was facing inflation and oil crisis. The coins reflected traditional patriotic elements. "In God We Trust" became mandatory on all U.S. coins in 1956, official motto, and Liberty has appeared since the very first coins in the 1790s. Collectability and value. Most 1974 coins are common in circulation, worth face value unless in uncirculated, proof, or error condition. Exceptions. 1974 aluminum penny prototype, extremely rare and valuable, never circulated. 1974 S-proof coins, struck for collectors. Double die errors, valuable to collectors. If you think your coin is unique, rare, or an error coin, a photo can help identify that. Want to go deeper? I can give you a timeline of how Liberty and "In God We Trust" became standard on U.S. coins, or the backstory of your specific coin if you upload an image or give more details like denomination or mint mark top 2. The full long history of a 1968 U.S. coin that says United States of America, Liberty, and "In God We Trust." This likely refers to a 1968 Kennedy half dollar, but similar markings appear on other coins too. Let's break it down fully, covering the historical background, the coin itself, and what those inscriptions mean, with special attention to the symbolism and significance. Full long history of the 1968 Liberty coin Kennedy half dollar. Historical background: John F. Kennedy and the nation's mourning. On November 22, 1963, U.S. President John F. Kennedy was assassinated in Dallas, Texas. Just days later, Congress and the U.S. Mint moved quickly to honor him on a coin. They chose to replace the Franklin half dollar, 1948 to 1963, with a new design featuring Kennedy. The first Kennedy half dollar was issued in 1964, just months after his death, and became a symbol of national grief and remembrance. The 1968 Kennedy half dollar, minted in 1968 as part of an ongoing series. Material: 40% silver, used from 1965 to 1970. Diameter: 30.6 millimeters. Weight: 11.5 g. Mints: Denver. The most 1968 halves were struck here. San Francisco. S4 proof coins only. Obverse front. Portrait of President Kennedy. Designer: Gilroy Roberts. Inscriptions: Liberty, a symbol of American freedom. "In God We Trust," a national motto reflecting spiritual heritage. 1968, the minting year. Reverse, back. Presidential seal: eagle with shield, olive branch, arrows, and stars. Designer: Frank Gasparo. United States of America, $50. Meaning of the words on the coin. Liberty appears on almost all U.S. coins. Represents the core American ideal of freedom and independence. Tied to the U.S. Declaration of Independence and Constitution. In God We Trust. First appeared in 1864 during the Civil War. Official motto of the U.S. since 1956. By law in 1955. Must appear on all U.S. coins. United States of America. Standard on all U.S. coinage since the late 1700s. The silver content change. 1964 Kennedy halves were 90% silver. In 1965, due to rising silver prices, coins were debased to 40% silver. 1968 Kennedy halves are still 40% silver, making them collectible for both their metal and historical value. After 1970, regular half dollars contain no silver, except some special issues. Collectability and value. Common in circulation. Value depends on condition, mint mark, and whether it's a proof coin. 40% silver content gives it melt value, around $3 to $4 depending on silver prices. Proof coins or high-grade uncirculated pieces can be worth more, $10 to $30 plus. Fun fact, why people hoarded them. When first released, Americans kept Kennedy half dollars as souvenirs. Many believed they would become valuable or just wanted a tribute to JFK. That's why relatively few entered regular circulation, especially in the early years. Thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe on my channel for more videos.